So what I've done to convert this into a stealth camper is that I had the captain's chairs. I removed those, and like I said, you're sitting on the engine. This is pretty much flat. There might be a slight slope, but this is with all the seats removed. I had, like I said, there's either a bench or a captain's chairs. I had the captain's chairs that were heavy as hell. Had those removed. And if you look here, the third row seats, they fold up like this. I took out one so I can put my cot. And so, let me do some measurements real quick to show you the width and the length. So from the back of the driver's seat all the way to here, it's about 8 feet. I'm 5'6", and it's a lot of space for me to stretch. Let me get the width done. If I can get a guesstimate, it's a little over, the width is about almost 5 feet, but maybe like 4 feet 8 inches. So almost there, and I'm just being conservative because like this is a step, but I never count this part. I just kind of count what's in here and how much I can stretch. Here's a Coleman cot that I bought, and it's a little over 6 feet. 6 feet 7 inches. And you can see how it sits here in the Previa. Let's go to the back. So like I said in some of the other videos, it gives me space to put underneath here, and when I put the chair down, I definitely have to kind of push it in like that in order to make space for the chair. But it does give me room, and I'll show you in a bit how this affects me during the nighttime. So this is how the cot sits with the chair down. There's a little bit of a space issue and whatnot, but nothing like what pillows would do to accommodate and make it feel comfy again. Like I said, I love this area because it lets me sit and stuff is in between. I do love sleeping on the ground, as I always mention, because I just feel lower. I feel like when I'm high up like this, when I start tossing and turning or something like that, I feel like the van kind of moves too. So that's one of the issues that I feel, you know, higher center of gravity. So if I move around, the van will probably move around, compared to if I was on the bottom of the floor, it wouldn't move around as much. The other thing too is I actually love it when it's, when it's hot and I can't bear it in here. I actually love it that I can actually open up my moon roof and give me some fresh air or whatnot. The only problem is that spiders and all kinds of small bugs, if I'm near a park or something like that, or near a tree, they come in. But this is actually not a bad setup for me temporarily. And like I said, this is a van that I didn't want to do any permanent changes to. So to me, this is a good temporary deal, and I was actually surprised that this thing was this long. The cot is this long, but it's worked for the last 6 months. So just a little bit about the prep. In California, it doesn't get as cold as it would be in Canada or up north, or maybe in the Midwest or the East Coast. So you really don't have to do much insulation. I did put, as you can see, Reflectix underneath the whole thing, except for the front. I put Reflectix in the side of the doors and under the rear wheel wells. And I didn't put some up here. I think I'm going to. This whole thing is just one big piece. So when I went to the junkyard, I started taking one apart just to see how to take it apart, and it was just, you know, there's some insulation and adhesives and whatnot, but I'll think about doing that in the future. Hopefully it keeps like more of the heat out, but I did feel a difference where having the Reflectix on here has made, because right there is the motor, here's the transmission, and so I remember before when I used to drive, I used to put my hand right here and be really, really warm. And so after putting Reflectix, it's actually not as bad, even over here and whatnot. So it does feel like it has some properties that are reflecting reflecting the heat from under the engine bay and transmission out of the cabin. But where I didn't put Reflectix, like right up here, you can definitely feel the heat and whatnot. And so that is how I set up my van, and I'll go over like a little bit of this, quote, the security privacy type deals. So I've tinted my windows 5% dark, and as you can see in my security video, that you can't see through them. And just like everybody else, I made a template of my window with cardboard, cut out Reflectix, but I put black cloth and stapled it, and I just put it against the window. For the rear, I put the hook and loop Velcro type deal, 3M, and I put this up there and it blocks everything. This is good in the sense that, like I said, it just keeps everything, if you'll see some people that they have, non-tinted windows, and those have Reflectix against it, and to me that's just like a straight, someone's in there. And so I don't want to do that. I want to keep it, very private. I'm washing my other curtain, but this was my initial curtain, and it was all the way down here, like dragging. I've tried tucking it a few times and whatnot, and then I just got tired of it, and so I cut it, but I cut it way too short, and then these fray out a lot. But I have a lighter curtain that's almost not transparent, but if you have the light behind you, it is kind of transparent, and people can see like a silhouette or see the light, but it's not too bad. So here is what I like to do as far as a blackout curtain or privacy curtain, and have it tucked in like that. And of course I'd have it, I always, like I said, I'm washing everything up, I'll do a little bit better on tucking it so it kind of looks, quote, natural and not suspicious. So yeah, and then I'm going to show you kind of like my night routine. I did make a video of it, but I accidentally deleted it, so I'm going to do that right now.